Volunteers, citizen scientists, and organizations like the California Central Coast Monitoring Project are all working together to learn and help Bloys. Now, these birds are asking for your help too. Black oystercatchers, known as Bloys in the world of birds, are territorial birds typically found in pairs from the Aleutian Islands in Alaska all the way south to Baja, Mexico. They are an important species of bird because they can help indicate the health of our ocean. The entire region of Monterey Bay is home to 65 pairs of black oystercatchers that live year-round in territories all along the intertidal area of our rocky coasts of California. Territories all vary in size, some big, some small, but they all have one thing in common. They provide food sources and a place to nest. The challenge is that we have easy access to these critical parts of their habitat. How do we share this space respectfully and coexist with all the wildlife that lives there?
Hi, I was just wondering, are you looking for whales?
I'm not actually looking for whales today. I'm looking for the black oystercatcher. It's a really special bird, a unique bird that lives here along the rocky coast of California. And it's really interesting the way, not only its behavior, but the way it looks. So it's got a brownish black body. It's got this orange-red bill, almost like a carrot, and then these bubblegum pink legs.
Is that one right there?
Ah, that is one, exactly.
Are you a scientist?
I'm actually not a scientist. I am a volunteer for the Pacific Grove Museum of Natural History, and we help the Audubon Society gather information about this species of concern. So that means that we're worried about them. They're not threatened and they're not endangered yet. And there are a lot of people like me who are monitors, and we each have a territory with black oystercatchers that are in them, and we gather important information, or we call it data.
If they're not endangered, then why do you need to study them?
Well, that's a great question. So ornithologists, the people, right, the scientists who are studying birds, we try to collect information about birds and different species so that we can look at the impact of people and the environment over the long term. So if we just look at the black oystercatchers that are in the Monterey Bay in the southern portion, this kind of gives you a picture. It shows you that in 2016, which was several years ago, we had 41 pairs and 82 eggs. And out of those 82 eggs, we only ended up with 4 fledglings. That's a pretty low number. So we fast forward to 2021, last season, we had 38 pairs, we had 59 eggs, and we only had 1 surviving chick that made it all the way to be a fledgling, is what we call it. So Lily, since you're interested, can I show you one more thing?
Yeah.
So this is just looking at this pair that lives in this area, MP1, and their success rate with their fledglings. You notice that each one of the years, right, from 2015 all the way up through here, they had no surviving chicks, no fledglings. Not until 2018 did they have 2, and they haven't had any surviving fledglings since that time. Yeah, but it was so amazing. It was so amazing in 2018. Welcome to MP1's 2018 nest site. That's what we call this whole area. It starts actually where they build their nest, right? So they pick an area and they construct it. And then it starts to expand out. The chicks don't just stay in that one area. Look at all the little nooks and crannies. So they start to be able to spread out a little bit because they need to be able to hide from predators. And there's lots of little trails and paths that are safe for them to walk on once they're stable on their feet. Sometimes they tumble, and you see that, but pretty much they're able-bodied and can navigate this area. So So it starts to expand as they start to get a little bit older and they explore out. And then the parents will go out foraging, and while the chicks are hiding, they know that the parents are coming back with food, so they come and they greet them and they get fed. They get provisioned is what we call it. So then they start to get a little bit older, and the parents start to take them out on something like field trips. They go out and they learn a little bit more about their habitat, right, and how expansive it is. So they have this nice, easy slope that goes down to this area that we rope off and protect it so that they can go down there and they can explore and forage. They can learn how to find their food, where it is. They can also learn how to maneuver from one rock to the other, or even when they have to learn how to swim through a little channel of water to get to another part of the rock. So this outcropping gets bigger and bigger because not only do they use this area, then it starts to expand further in the back in their territory. So they have quite a lot of room to grow and learn from before they actually leave their parents. Okay, so in 2018, I just showed you where MP1 had their nest successfully. They had 2 chicks which they fledged, which means they survived, and they grew up and they left this area to go off and learn how to be a proper black oyster catcher. And we as monitors were able to watch them safely from up on the ridge. So we do that with binoculars or with other equipment to be able to see what's happening. Then we were so excited because in 2019, MP1 decided they were going to come back to this outcropping and nest again, and we were sure they were going to be successful. They had Yes, people do come here. So they had a nest that was perfectly placed right here. It's a lovely little spot. The only problem is it's right out in the open for all the predators to see. There aren't all these nooks and crannies where they could hide. So we lost all 3 chicks. 2020, we weren't sure where they were going to go. Were they going to come back here? Were they going to go try on Gazebo Rock, which is another place that they've tried nesting before? We had to wait and find out. Unfortunately, they didn't have a nest in either place. We don't know why. Hopefully some of you who are inspired to become biologists and learn more, maybe you'll be able to figure out why this particular spot or that spot is better for them. Just imagine a world with no black oyster catchers, Lily.
What can I do? How can I help?
Absolutely. You can help me spread the word. Come on, I have a great idea.
Be aware of the environment that you are in and all that inhabits the area. Be aware of the rules and the regulations, and be aware of ropes and signs, especially temporary closures. Look, listen, learn. Use as many senses as you can when you are exploring and enjoying an environment that you are visiting. Wildlife can't use words to tell you what or how they feel. Look at their behavior, listen to their sounds, learn about them. When you observe for 5-10 minutes, you may be amazed by what you see, hear, and feel. A spray from the sea, a whale breaching, a baby otter calling its mother, a pelican gulping a sardine, even 9 black oystercatchers sharing the coast with a community of migrating birds. Your actions definitely impact others, including wildlife in a particular area. When you spend time on the coast or at the beach, please make choices that keep you and others safe. Your actions can either be a disturbance to wildlife, or they can show appreciation for it, and you can help preserve it for years to come. So spread the word. Share what you learn with others in a kind and positive way. Black oystercatchers already face challenges every year nesting successfully. Their home is in the intertidal area of our rocky coast. Give them the space they need, April through September, to nest. And remember, your Bloys all year long.